Hi, my name's John Slauson. I'm the head of props at the Dallas Theater Center. Some of you may have seen videos I've done for the Theater Center in the past. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about some very basic photo editing techniques that you might be able to use at home. The software I'm going to be using is called Affinity Photo. So the first thing I'm going to do is share screen with you. What I am going to concentrate on is sort of two very simple techniques for doing a little touch-up on your photos. I just want to show you a couple of techniques. The first one I'm going to show you in Affinity is acne removal. So I'm going to zoom in using my mouse. The sort of obvious tool, if you come over here and click, there's a tool that is called blemish removal. So I'm going to make my brush smaller, and I do that with a keyboard shortcut that is the square brackets. And then I'm going to click, and I can sort of manipulate it to, it sort of looks better, but in all honesty, find it difficult and it doesn't always get the best results. So I'm going to Control Z and get rid of that. And instead, I'm going to come in and find a brush called the in-painting brush. What the in-painting brush does is it's a little AI, and you take an area and you basically paint a little orange mask over it, and the computer thinks about it for a minute and decides, oh, what you're trying to do is get rid of this thing and blend it into the background or paint it out. So just do that. That was not great. Let's try that again. So I think my brush is too big, so let's try this. I'm gonna keep my mistakes in. There we go. I'm gonna keep my mistakes in because you will make the same mistakes, and so it's good to see what happens. You can always Control Z to undo something. So just painting these out. And voila. Now I could spend a ton more time cleaning up this photo in a number of ways, but that is just a very quick and easy way to do blemish removal. Now I'm going to click on a photo that is unfortunate because it's me with giant bags under my eyes. So I'm going to first, so if you look over in layers, I just have the photo, there's only one layer. First thing I'm going to do when I'm doing editing like this, I like to not work on my background layer. I like to work on a copy. So in Affinity Photo, if you click and highlight the layer you're working on, and then you click Control J, I believe that would be Command J on a Mac, but it makes a duplicate of that layer. And so I'm going to be working on that duplicate. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to the Filters tab and do something called Frequency Separation. Now, the defaults are actually pretty good, so I'm not going to change the defaults. You can play around with them and see what works for you, but basically, you can move this around so you can see what it looks like on different parts of the image. Basically what this does is it gives me the high frequency information and the low frequency information. For simplicity's sake, we'll say the high frequency is basically sort of the hard lines, and the low frequency is basically the color. There's more to it than that, but that's an easy way to think about it. So I'm going to apply that. And you notice that background layer has now become two layers. It's from a high frequency layer and a low frequency layer. If I turn off the high frequency layer just by unclicking this box, most of the hard lines go away. The image gets sort of fuzzy, and you're mostly just looking at the colors. And same thing with a low frequency. If I turn that off, what you're looking at is basically mostly the hard lines. Now, the reason you're still seeing colors is because I have this background layer. If I close that background layer, then all you're really looking at is the low frequency. So what I want to do is I want to turn off the high frequency, but work on the low frequency. And I'm going to zoom in to this lovely bag under my eye. And I'm going to use the in-painting tool, the same tool I used before. And I'm going to make the brush a little bigger. And I'm just going to take some of this out. And again, you can use Control Z if you don't like what it has done. There we go. Now, again, I'm not taking much time because I'm doing this as a pretty quick demonstration, but basically that takes most of that out. I could really spend some time to make this better, but I'm not going to. That's good enough for the demonstration. I'm going to turn the high frequency back on. And now I'm going to turn the low frequency off and work on the high frequency layer. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to take out some of this. There. Now I'm going to turn both layers back on, and I'm going to shift click so that I've highlighted both. Now I'm going to zoom back out, and I can now turn off the editing that I did and only see the background, which is why I had made a duplicate. So if I turn off the editing, you can see what the bags in my eyes, they go away. Not the cleanest job I've ever done at doing this. It looks a little unnatural, and I could spend a lot more time making it look more natural. But I just wanted to give you a taste of how this works. So, you know, there are other things, you know, while I'm looking at this picture, I have a little blemish right there. I can just do the same thing. I can take that blemish and make it go away. I could take this little hair right there that is sort of annoying and make it go away. Again, I could spend hours cleaning this up, but that gives you the basic idea. Thanks for watching. Probably will be doing some more of these later in the year. If there's interest in more photo editing stuff, I can certainly do that. One of the other topics that I hope to cover later is doing a little restoration of old photos. That is also something that we do quite a lot of, where we take an old photo and make it look better, newer. But I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.